Cillian Murphy claims Daniel Craig's final 007 project isn't worth his time. In the prestigious film magazine Cinesphere, talented Irish actor Cillian Murphy unexpectedly published a long interview, in which he relentlessly talked about the final 007 project with Daniel Craig. According to Cillian, this was a visionless decision, and not worth his consideration. For me, Cillian wrote, 007 should be inspired by reality, by contemporary thinking. But this project, from every angle, follows old stereotypes. Daniel Craig, that's not the problem. The problem is the choice to remake without innovating. That interview stirred up a wave of public opinion, creating a heated debate among James Bond fans, among film enthusiasts, and even with those who followed Cillian's artistic journey in Peaky Blinders and Oppenheimer. So what is the truth behind that statement? What makes a famous actor like Cillian, who has always maintained a mild attitude, speak so strongly? Unexpected reason. A chat behind the scenes. We have to go back to the small party after the BAFTA Awards ceremony in early 2025 ended. Cillian was chatting with his best friend, a British female film director. Because of good wine, the happy atmosphere, they started to confide in each other about their dream projects. Daniel Craig, James Bond. The topic gradually changed, and the space was filled with bold ideas. The contemporary Bond should be of origin, of many identities, not just young, handsome, muscular white European men. Cillian heard that, nodded, I have nothing against Daniel, but if the company keeps chonging around the old wharf, then, I won't go in. Then, the next day, he decided to tell the truth in a long interview. Disappointment with the script. During the first 3 weeks of writing the draft of the script, the character outline that Ian Productions sent to the actors expected to cast Maddie Cillian frown. The purpose was to rejuvenate the main character by adding a TikTok idol action scene, but the content was shallow and lacked psychological depth. In particular, the final villain turned out to be very trendy, from the music to the colors, cliched, which disappointed Cillian. He told his manager, if Bond doesn't represent a complex ideal, if he's just a moving advertisement, that's no different from discriminating against an audience that demands depth. The manager naturally objected, saying, it's simply to attract young people. But Cillian still stubbornly refused. Ian Productions' reaction. After the interview was published, Ian Productions quickly responded. The brief statement confirmed, we respect Cillian Murphy's opinion, but the reality is that the current 007 project is not finished, everything is still in the development stage. We welcome any constructive feedback. This response divided public opinion. Some praised Cillian for being brave enough to speak up, using his influence to push Bond to evolve. But many criticized him for sabotaging the event and disrespecting his colleagues. In a famous Phi-LM forum, an anonymous member wrote, "Cillian sounds good, but without Daniel Craig, Bond would have run out of steam." Look at Bond's career from Connery, Moore or Dalton to Brosnan, there is no shortage of controversy. Cillian should do a good job as 007 first and then judge E. Conversation with Daniel Craig. In April, at a tea room in London, Cillian put down his teacup and decided to contact Daniel Craig, a friend in the industry. The result was an emotional conversation. Both of them sealed and held back their tears. "Daniel, you said it, because of the artistic eye. Actually, I'm tired of seeing Bond just holding guns, drinking martinis and picking up girls. I want Bond to show experience, inner self, human depth." Cillian, then do it. But the way they write the new episode is following the same old path. I'm willing to support if I can participate in writing or develop more deep villain characters. Daniel nodded. "Or should we go to Ian together?" Cillian shook his head. "I don't have power in the script department. I only have a reputation because of Oppenheimer. But if they write a remake, I'll me." The conversation gradually faded into the sound of rain outside the window, like an artistic promise that had not yet come true. The storm of public opinion and the reinvention Bond campaign. After the tea, Cillian decided to turn the idea into action. He started a campaign called Reinvention Bond. Through social networks and magazines, he encouraged the public to participate in a survey. What kind of Bond did they want? Were they willing to accept a mysterious, introspective, insecure Bond? Or simply a half-real, half-fictional superhero? The survey attracted more than 2 million participants in 2 weeks. The surprising result, about 73% wanted a new generation of Bond imperfect, reflecting modern society. The number of supporters was higher than Cillian expected. The first live part. Ian Productions could not help but pay attention. The company announced that the audience's opinions would be considered in the new direction. The original script was shelved, and the writing team was almost entirely rewritten. Cillian stepped down. However, Cillian did not directly take on the role of Bond. He just wanted to be part of the creative team. And Daniel Craig, according to the plan, was still the last 007, a Bond from the previous generation, before everything changed. The climax, new cast and fierce criticism. In the second half of 2025, the official cast list was revealed. The character of Bond would be played by an actor of African-British descent. The reaction in the UK, the US, and globally was extremely enthusiastic. Positive perspective. Many experts praised, Bond now represents a multicultural society. Variety magazine devoted an entire article to praising the rebirth of the brand. Negative perspective. Some die-hard fans turned their backs, hating that Bond no longer has the golden feeling. The underground forum was outraged. Just the image is not enough. In this context, in mid-October 2025, Cillian had a second interview. Bond has been reborn, and I am proud to be the one who asked the question in the first place. The biggest obstacle is not Daniel Craig or me, but the question, do we dare to change? These words were widely shared by reinvention Bond fans. Open ending, will Bond be renewed? The project continued until 2026. The script was not completed, filming was delayed due to restructuring, but the spirit of renewal was still there. Although Cillian did not take the role, he left an indelible mark on Bond culture. What happened next? Daniel Craig, still attached to the final Bond role, and he began training to portray Bond with more depth, including the ability to cry and complex emotions. Newcomer, set to take on the role of African British Bond, promising to bring contemporary Bond to the world. Cillian Murphy, often behind the scenes, acting as a consulting director, occasionally appearing at PR events to support the project, he has become the spiritual soul of the revolution.